When it comes to technology,
Okay, attempt number 2. I've got to get this right before the stream starts. Okay, attempt number 2. I've got to get this right before the stream starts. Okay, that sounds decent, I think. Okay, yeah. I'm going to mute my mic now. Back in 12 minutes.
cold and hard to keep. Nobody knows where to find my family. They've gone missing. It's because of me. I'm like Ace, I have nowhere to sleep, so we roam on the road with the other three. Feeling old and alone, though we're young and free. Nowhere to go and no home, cause they're scared of me. Listen, Miss Vixen, to your cold heart knocking. It's your heart blocking it. Scarlet, you're fixing all the holes where life should be. What do your eyes see true? We are vicious, though we never intended to be malicious. True, we're all in this, fan out the boring and repetitious. Yes, we're suspicious, so we leave no trace when our job is finished. We are listless, and we tear away.
Look at the sky, the sun won't ask for what if it can rise. Look at your mind and ask yourself what keeps you trapped inside. Look at the lies that follow you when you run and hide. Look at the sky, the sun won't ask, 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 the sun won't
Okay. This time, I'm not going to forget my mic. Okay, let's go. Hello everyone. How's it going? How loud this should be. That better be alright. Wait, no, I'm going to turn it down. There we go. Maybe? How's that? You guys are going to have to tell me. Well, let's be honest, I'm not going to leave you guys after last time. Okay. Prime time. So, 2 minutes ago, not even, I checked my bank just as like a last minute check to make sure I hadn't messed up. And I looked in my bank and I realised that I still had all of the loot from last week's event where I killed, how many was it, 1,000 krills? So at the end of this, if I didn't notice that, I would have ended up with some ridiculous amount of Zamorak loot. So yeah, that would have been a bit rubbish. Let's see if we've got any questions. Music down. I'm seeing a lot of music down. How's that? Ah well, who cares? If the music's too quiet, I'll get over it. If I'm too quiet, I'll cry. Fremnik Blade. As much as they are worthless, I do love getting Fremnik Blades from DKs. Yeah, this week we don't have... On this computer, I don't have the old school music. So I am having to use Monster Cat. Sears Ring! I almost missed that. It went on the floor. Peel. Okay, thank you for that arrow. Bank menu. Open bank. Wait. Can I just bank everything in my inventory? Am I being an idiot? I'm being an idiot. Okay, that'll have to do. Sears Ring though, that's a good start. That was after how many kills? 30. Have you thought about adding Fire Cape / Barrows as a Slayer task? Would make Slayer cool as hell again. Please answer. Another Sears Ring? What's going on? I believe that there's something... I thought that they were third age. I'm an idiot. I believe that there's something planned in terms of Barrows like mini games for the new continent, or at least I think that's something that Modreach might want to do. So maybe not Slayer for Barrows, who knows? If someone can come up with a reasonable suggestion or reasonable, it can show that it has enough support, then I'm sure it could happen. But maybe there's some more interesting things that could potentially be done with something like Barrows on the new continent, who knows? To be honest, I don't really know if there's anything in particular planned for that. Mud Battle staff, this is going really well actually. 3 loots in just over 2 inventories. Bank menu. Open bank. There we go. Anything eaten per Dragon Axe or Mud Battle Staff? Unfortunately not this week, although to be honest I would have loved that. Did I just take that? No I didn't, it disappeared. Spawn. Tell you what, Prime has always been the one to disappoint me at DK, so it's going to be quite nice to get to kill him 1,000 times. Peel. By the way, if you guys tweet me questions, then I'll be able to answer them a lot easier than in Twitch chat, because the Twitch chat goes past very fast with lots of cappers in there. So it will be a lot easier to get your questions and read them out from Twitter. So if you tweet at JagXRonan, then I'm more likely to ask your question, or to try and answer your question. Oh, these spam bots on Twitter. The second you mention anything about a stream, you get spammed with people offering you, like, to boost your viewers and whatnot. So, how many of you guys have seen the free-to-play expansion that went up earlier today? If you guys haven't seen that yet, check out the homepage on the Old School website. It's also on the in general on the forums. These sharks are going to drive me mad. But essentially now, as of tomorrow, there's going to be an expansion to the free-to-play where if you have not had membership for 90 days, you will have access to the free trial. So on existing accounts, if you haven't had access, if you haven't had membership for 90 days, you'll get access to free-to-play for 2 weeks. So it's going to hopefully bring back a bunch of people from that maybe don't play so much anymore, have let their membership expire, or maybe play free-to-play on the main game. Give them a chance to give Old School a go. Which is, I think, a really decent way of getting some people, new people playing the game. Maybe they won't be new, but I'm sure it will boost the number of people that are playing Old School, which is always nice. If you've got any old friends, I'm going to be doing this. If you've got any old friends that when Old School came out said, "Oh, why can't I use my old account?" And then didn't play Old School because of that, get them in on it. I have a few people in mind that I'm going to be spamming about it, and if you guys spread it, then in the end there's more people playing the game, which is good for everyone. Permanent free-to-play, if you read the developer blog that went up earlier today, it goes into a lot of detail on what it was that we found with the can't speak today. What it is that we found so far with the free-to-play trial and how we're dealing with it moving forward. And it should give you guys a really good idea of how it is that we've come to the conclusion, at least for now, that permanent free-to-play isn't likely to be the direction that we're headed. If you look at the statistics that have been posted in there, I think you guys will be able to appreciate why the decision was made to stick to the trial for now, and still change it up a bit and still experiment to get the right. Oh my goodness, left shield left half. I think I've had one of them in, I have no idea how long I've been playing RS now. One of them in my main, and I get it in, to be fair, quite a few DAX, not too shabby. But yeah, if you guys read that devlog, it's really, it should give you a lot of insight into how the decision was made, which I think a lot of people have been asking for, which is nice. Open bank. Do loot from 1,000 moles next week. Maybe that. I am quite interested to see how much you'd get from the mole, including all the nests that you could trade in. Well, not the nests that you could trade in, the claws and the hides that you could trade in. That'd definitely be interesting. Move your mic away from your mouth and turn it up. I can't turn it up, and I have no idea what the issue is. Maybe it's just how this mic sounds, I don't know. I don't use this kind of headset myself, I have a blue snowball. Oh, the sharks are spamming my inventory so much, I have to bank so often. Can you guys invest? No. I'm not going to read that question. Oh, if you guys haven't seen it yet, check out Modreach's Twitter. If you're not following him, follow him, because you're going to be getting a bunch of this stuff over the... I don't know how long it's going to be going up on there for, but today Modreach has essentially set up. Modreach and Alfred have been working the backsides off to get Corp on the go, and today we got to the point where essentially Corp is finished. Another Sears ring, not too bad. Corp is not finished, but it's in a test environment. It's like if it was just slapped into the game how it is now, there'd be a lot of issues. So it's not finished by any stretch of the imagination, but for the sake of having a bit of a play around with Corp, it's usable on the test servers. So if you check out Modreach's Twitter, you can see some screenshots of that. Me, him, and ModJohnC were trying to trio it earlier. And I tell you now, Corp is a hell of a lot more difficult in 2007 than it was back in, I don't know, just no summoning. Oh, I suppose summoning didn't really make a difference for Corp anyway, but no overloads, no turmoil, no soul split, none of it. So it's incredibly difficult, and it will definitely, if it gets into the game, if it passes the poll, it will be a huge challenge for some PVMs, which would be nice. But yeah, there's some screenshots of that up on Modric's Twitter, which is definitely worth a look if you haven't seen it already. Now would be a great time to explain your opinions on Orion. Well, with Orion, it's perfectly within the rules. Everything that's in the client is legal in terms of RuneScape rules. So it's not against the rules to use Orion. However, as it is a third-party software, we're not going to recommend that people use it. We're never going to endorse it like that, because at the end of the day, we're not in full control of Orion. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Not much more to say on that. Yeah, the hides and bones are going to drop to the floor automatically. I mean, you can figure out the loot you'd get from 1,000 kills, you'd get 1,000 bones and hides. So, it's the mud battle stuff. That's nice. And mud cables are getting tied around my foot and whatnot. Yeah, so I mean, I could just spawn them in for the end screenshot for the loot picture if I actually knew the names of the items, but to be honest, I don't think I'll bother. I'm sure you guys are capable of figuring that out. For me to, am I breathing into my mic? Is that what's happening here? How's that? Hey, are we allowed to AFK Guthin Nightmare Zone and AFK Firestrike PvP worlds? I'll be honest, I am not entirely sure. I know that, oh, I left sharks in the pool, that's unacceptable. I know that you're allowed to do that for experience. However, I'm not entirely sure on whether or not it's against the rules to leave your computer as you're doing so. I will confirm that and get back to you guys. It's probably bad that I don't know that, actually. That is quite an odd... I don't know. I don't think I've had a circle yet, have I? Circle is from Prime, I think. I'm pretty certain Modrons said that yesterday, so... Are they still taking suggestions for Corp drops? Absolutely, yes. That's really the big question with Corp. I'm pretty confident that Corp will pass the poll, purely for the sake of the content, because Corp is an incredibly fun boss that a lot of people did love. And it does add a huge element of challenge to the game, which in terms of PVM isn't necessarily there right now, because there are people that can solo any boss on Old School. So at this point in time, the challenge of PVM has kind of met its limit for the players. At the point where there are people that can solo literally every boss in the game. I mean, what a team is supposed to do in terms of PvE, they can still do it, it'll be faster kills, but the limit has been reached. There's not many more impressive things that can be done with PVM unless you go into set restrictions and stuff like using using flowers to kill it and whatnot. But Corp loot's definitely still looking for ideas on that. A lot of people don't want to see the Spirit Shields in game, and I think it is safe to say that Spirit Shields, if they were to come into the game, would not be in the same form that they were previously. It's possible that Spirit Shields, items called Spirit Shields that look like Spirit Shields looked could... Has my mic disconnected? I believe it has. Hello? Okay, my mic disconnected, lovely.
Follow the blue line. Being in any new city is inspiring.
This is an advertisement. Get out. There we go. So yeah, Corp. It's perfectly possible that items called Spirit Shields that look like Spirit Shields could be added to the game, but they won't do the same things that the old Spirit Shields did, because there's no need for a Divine in Old School. It would be incredibly overpowered. Same goes for Elysian. Arcane and Spectral are probably more balanced, but at the same time they're not necessarily ideal. For Old School still, they would probably have to be reworked a little bit. But a lot of people just don't want to see Spirit Shields full stop, and what I definitely understand is a certain element of worry playing into that. People don't want to see the game have incredibly overpowered gear thrown at it. I do think that I would love to see, like, this is my personal opinion as a player, I would love Spirit Shields to be back. Purely for the aesthetics of them, they look incredible. Absolutely amazing. I would die for an Arcane, even if it had 0 stats. But yeah. Make Divine 45 defense requirement. That sounds like an absolutely tragic idea. If I only killed Darok, the chance of getting an item is 1 in 96, compared to killing all 6 and being 1 in 60. Oh, I got D-Hatchet. I think he's asking, is that the case? And the way it works at Barrows, I'm not a developer, I've not looked at the code for Barrows, I have no idea of the absolute specifics, but what I am fairly certain has been said is that as you kill the Barrows brother, their item, you then stand a chance of getting one of their items. So I don't know if it would impact, I'm sure it would impact the rate at which you get them. I don't know. I suppose that makes sense. As in what you said makes sense. What I said probably made absolutely no sense to anyone. Someone just tweeted about Corp. If it doesn't pass, I may have to punch someone in the jugular. Lovely. Make sure you guys, I am reading the Twitch chat, but with the Twitch chat it is really difficult to read the questions out right away. Ooh, steal arrows. So if you guys tweet them to me at JagXRonan, then I will have a much easier time reading out your question. Comes in at a slower rate and it's stationary. It doesn't scroll up slowly as I'm trying to read it. So if you want your question answered, your best bet is tweeting me. Although I will be reading the Twitch chat. Okay, so someone in the Twitch chat just said, forgive me if I'm misunderstanding this, but essentially he would like a separate server for Old School where you make a new account and you're level 3, and if you die then your stats and bank get reset. So essentially, like anyone who's played hardcore mode on Minecraft, that kind of thing, where if you die, game over. Which I actually really like that kind of idea for a game. Any game, pretty much. I think it would... I quite like the idea for RuneScape, actually. I think it'd be really, really, really challenging, but it would definitely be interesting. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, but I do think that separate servers, probably a little tricky. Not sure how it would work if it were ever to be implemented, but if it got enough support, I'm sure that something could be figured out. Back-to-back mud battle staff's not too bad. Okay, hang on, I'm gonna quickly time this guy out who's spamming endlessly. Oh, I need to bank. There we go. And yeah, everyone has been telling me that the mic quality isn't all that good, which unfortunately I can't really do much about. It's the only mic I've got. I have no idea what it sounds like, to be honest. So for this stream at least, that's just something we're going to have to put up with. Will there ever be revs in Old School? Let me just quickly turn my phone off. Chuck it on the floor. Revs in Old School, they didn't pass the poll, but revs aren't really anything special. I mean, I spent 100% of my time before the EOC came out killing revs in the Rev Cave and PKing there. It's what I did for money, it's what I did for fun. 99% of what I did in the game took part in the Rev Cave. With that said, I don't necessarily think that the reason for that was revenants or the cave that they were in. I just think it was an active multi-PK spot with an incentive that never really died down for going there. But the issue with that is that my battle staff, I'm getting a ton of them. With that, you need the incentive, and the incentive is incredibly difficult to come up with. If you start thinking about introducing new gear, then you're potentially going to devalue the old gear. If you think about introducing existing gear, you're probably going to devalue that gear. So if there was some way of faux raid. Thanks for that, Paul. Paul's the man, in case anyone doesn't know. But yeah, the issue is the incentive. If you can come up with an incentive that is sustainable and worthwhile, that won't absolutely bottom out the economy, then yeah, sure, revs would certainly be a possibility, or something that has the same effect as revs. But as for just straight up copy and pasting revs into Old School as they were, I don't think it would suit the game. I don't think that people would accept it, considering that PvP armors and weapons have failed the poll in the past. Another with battle staff. I've had so many so far. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that revs are needed. But hey, if they would do the job, then why not? If there's support, and if someone can come up with a genius way of coming up with a perfect incentive, then why not? See if we've got any more questions on Twitter. Any plans to eventually review permanent ban appeals on Old School RuneScape? I have no idea. Contact Jagex support if you feel you've been wrongly banned, and they will review it for you. The support, Jagex support, they get back to people incredibly fast. They're really competent people, incredibly good at what they do. I can confirm that as add the Rune Square Shield. I've never seen that before. Is that Rare Drop Table? That must be Rare Drop Table. I don't know. A friend of mine was actually getting hacked when I was on TeamSpeak with him at the weekend, and he tweeted Jagex support and he got his account locked in no time. Couldn't have been more than 15 minutes. So I'm sure that if your account has been wrongly banned, then I'm sure they'll get to the bottom of it. And if not, then they probably won't bother getting to the bottom of it. A poll about level up messages being taken down by combat. I think that that's a reasonable ask. I think perhaps the better solution would be to make it as it did in the previous game. When you get the level up, you can then click the skill guide. I'm not sure how possible this would be in Old School. Click the skill guide, and then it would still say congratulations for the level that you got. Is that 2 in 1 kill? I've had so many mud battle stats at this point. I should not have had this many, I'm certain of it. But yeah, I think you don't want to deprive people of their 99s, but I think that would be a reasonable compromise between making it stay there, which might throw a few people off. Probably wouldn't, but who knows? I don't know. That's more of a question for the devs, because I really don't know what is possible within the game, or what is easiest, or if any of it is possible. 11 mud battle staffs. I could swear that mud battle staffs, Sears rings, dragon hatchets are all 1 in 128, and at the minute I've killed 580 primes and I've got 11 mud battle staffs. That's pretty unbelievable. 4.5k air runes. Woo. 51 air battle staffs, that's kind of surprising. 43 earth battle staffs. 20 water battle staffs, that's odd. There's way less of them. I don't know if they're the same drop rate or what. 4.7k pure airs, 250 odd mats. To be honest, most of this is kind of lackluster, bar the earth talismans, water talismans, air talismans, and these things. I feel like I'm getting very unlucky, to be honest, with 2 dragon axes at this point. But hey, let's get on with it. I mean, that's not boaty unlucky, but it's not far off. Come over to the fence and give your supporters a shout out. Why not? I see who's here. Approvement, Sergeant Nade, Tanner9, the PVM bro, Brent. Oh, they got Agile. Is that Agile? Am I getting it mixed up? I'm getting it mixed up. I know what it's called. What's it called? Graceful. You didn't hear that. Baby Revi Shafanoth, Thusra, and who's that back there? Phoenix 1000. Okay. Shout out to those guys for coming to the. What are they called? Tortoise? I swear they are. Yeah, just straight up tortoise. Come to the tortoise pen. Who is that? Is that my John C? It is. Oh, it's Mod Ash. There we go. Is he in hot pants? He's wearing a loincloth and a blue party. Why did that not surprise me? Okay, let's get back to it. I have to say that it is impressive the amount of love that Mod Ash gets. It's fully deserved, but it blows my mind. People go crazy for a bit of Ash. What on earth? That's funny. Someone with the Twitch name ML Goody, which is not me, by the way, tried to spam the Twitch and got banned in about half a second. Good job. See what questions we got on Twitter. Let's see, 6 new notifications. I'm being a bit slow with this, I'm sorry, but I've got another left half. What is happening? That can't be right. I've had 2 this stream, that's nonsense. That shouldn't happen. I think the game's broken. Just got 4 battle staffs in one, isn't it? Will you guys release old nicknames from inactive accounts soon? It will be soon. I'm not sure precisely when it's going to happen. At this point in time, I think it is a matter of it could happen any day now. So keep an eye out. It will be announced when it happens. And try and snag your favourite names. Possibility of repolling Rigger/Augury. The only reason why it didn't pass is because no one wants to do the mini games for them. I think that's a questionable reason for it not passing. I think that. Did I just get 2 mud battle staffs? And I have way too many of them. Something's up. Something's going on here. I think that a big reason that Rigger and Augury wouldn't have passed, or at least Rigger wouldn't have passed, is because Dark Bow Rushes are a menace in the wilderness. They can hit, what's the max? Something like 96? 48, I believe. So if you give them Rigger on top of that, that is absolutely unbelievable. And maybe not so pleasant for PKs that don't wish to get 1 hit from full health. But I'm getting way too many of these. What is going on? Either that or I have the drop rates mixed up in my head. I'm not sure what's happening. But for prayers, get back on track. For prayers, yes, there is going to be, I'm not sure if it's going to be Spellbook or Prayer Book, another RuneScape, but there will be a player design contest at some point in the future for either a new Prayer Book or Spellbook, maybe both, who knows. So at that point, it's perfectly possible that new prayers for Mage and Range and everything could come out. So if you've got any good ideas for that, make sure you perfect them before the PDC starts. No idea when it's going to start now. I'm not suggesting it's going to be anytime soon. I have absolutely no clue. I just know that it is something that has been mentioned. So if you do have any grand ideas, I've been seeing a few really nice ones on the forums actually. One by a guy called Livey2 and one by a guy called Captain McGee, I believe. There's definitely some fantastic ideas going up. Even if it doesn't end up being through a PDC, which I think it more than likely will, people are coming up with some excellent ideas that I could definitely see working. I'm sorry, I keep on freezing like that, but I've just had the most perplexing comment in the world pop up in the Twitch chat. Ronan, would it be possible for us to give some suggestions? I'm sure many of... okay, no, not so perplexing. I'm a fool. Yeah, give suggestions for everything. The more feedback we get, the better the game becomes. If we know what you guys want, then we can figure out what is ideal based on that. And the game gets way better, way faster. Another dehatchet, not too bad. Can you get hacked with Authenticator active on your account? I believe that the only way for that to happen is if you have used the PC Authenticator, the Windows one. And even then, I think it is another barrier, and it would be a barrier that a majority of people that are hacking you would never even consider. So it's very, very unlikely that you'll get hacked, but you should still take every precaution to make sure it doesn't happen. If you've got Authenticator set up on your phone or your tablet or something like that, I think the odds of you getting hacked are slim to none unless someone physically steals your phone with the intention of hacking your RuneScape account. And even if they stole your phone, they'd still need to have your actual RuneScape password as well. So I think the Authenticator is an absolutely excellent thing in terms of account security. If you haven't set it up, then you should. I'm guilty of not having set it up yet, but I definitely will be. Probably going to go home and do it tonight because that's been bugging me when I see people log in and get prompted for Authenticator. I'm like, oh, I'm slacking in before I get hacked. But wait, what on earth's happening with this? Why has the spam for music off suddenly begun? This makes me feel as if it's legit spam, if there is such a thing. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. If you can hear this, type 1 in the chat. That's the real test. Music is fine, yeah, whatever. It's usually just a little cluster of people that are aiming to confuse the living daylights out of me. But hey. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of ones there. Shark, Pure Essence, Shark. So, if you've got... Okay, here's what we're going to do. If you have... People are saying I'm too low. If you could see XSplit right now and the levels that are coming up for audio, you'd understand why I'm skeptical of that. But yeah, I'm going to go back to it now because people have been responding to what I've been saying, so I'm going to assume it's alright. You know what? Whatever. Music can can be too quiet, worse things have happened. So, back to it. Pets. If you have had a pet at this point in time from any boss, type 1 in the chat. I'm curious about this. I've seen a lot more people get them than I would have expected, considering how rare I was told that they are. But I absolutely love them. I've been seeing them wandering around game, popping up every so often, and it is absolutely unbelievable how amazing they look, to be honest. Considering they are just smaller bosses, they look fantastic, and people have been loving the dialogue with them. The Kriara dialogue cracked me up when I first saw it. That's a lot of people that have had them. That is surprising. Yeah, I'm sure some of them are faking, but whatever. Let's check out Twitter, since I've been neglecting it for a little while now. Yeah, the amount of mud staffs. Derek on Twitter says, who never would have thought of all the mud staffs? Nor would I, to be honest. How many have I had so far? Open bank. 16. 16 mud staffs in 800, so that can't be right. Oh, I don't know if I believe it or not. I don't know what to believe anymore. The static spawn rates only apply to monsters and resources. Can you make it affect shop stock as well? That's something that I would have to ask. I would certainly have to ask the team about, because I have no idea what the issues that would come along with that would be. The one that would come to mind is that there are a lot of accounts that hop around, a lot of bots that hop around buying runes from the stores, like Mage Bank and whatnot. And if you then increase the amount that... Oh my... I banked my potato and closed the bank. Rookie mistake. I think that static spawn rates would change a fair amount with shops. I don't know. I think there would be a reason for it not happening if it hasn't already. But I'm completely ignorant to that reason if it does exist. So who knows? Tweet Ash, John, or Dan on Twitter, and I'm sure they can enlighten you. Yeah, you guys making fun of me in the chat for banking the potato. Didn't know I could just spawn a new one. How long have I been at Jagex? I've been at Jagex for, I think, a month today. My membership on my Jmon account ran out today, so that would make sense. I'm desperately in need of some more questions. Can we get a ZMI altar? To be honest, I don't think the ZMI altar would happen in Old School, because it didn't really have any benefit other than experience. And I think that would frustrate a lot of people that have runecrafted, and a lot of people in general. I've seen a majority of comments that I've ever seen regarding the ZMI altar have been negative. So if there did turn out to be a lot of support for it, then I'm sure it would be possible, as with everything. But it is something that I'm not confident would pass a poll, even if we did poll it. Oh, I've got 2 potatoes. Luxury. Yes, I am ML Goody. Not on Twitch though. That guy's a random guy who made an account called that to spam and make me look bad. I have had a fair few D-hatchets recently. This is actually quite surprising. What's the Mats PK command do on the potato? I actually don't know, and I'm hesitant to find out when there are legitimate players nearby. I have no idea what a lot of the stuff on the potato does, and I have been absolutely terrified to click any of it in case suddenly the entirety of RuneScape just stops. Absolutely terrifying experience of mine since I've started working at Jagex, actually. There was a command that I was told to type in order to allow me to I can't remember precisely what it was. It was for one of these events, one of the community live streams. It had to have something set on my account so that I'd be able to, I think it was open all the clue scroll caskets without having it all go into my inventory. And I type in the command to set that up for myself, and then RuneScape stops. And the entire office's internet starts playing up and goes off for about 15 minutes. I'm sat there, I'm freaking out, thinking that I have destroyed the office's internet. Looking back, it was absolutely ridiculous to think that that was even a possibility. But hey, it was an irrational freak out. Get over it. That was one of the most horrifying moments of my life right there. That was maybe a week after I started working at Jagex, so feel my pain. Why can't I use a vial on a 2-dose potion and get 2 1 potions? Why would you want to? Oh, mud battle staff. Looks so much nicer on the floor. Yeah, why would you want to? I think that was asked not too long ago in one of the Q&A live streams, and that was the response. Is that they're really... what reasons do you have for it? In what situation would you have a vial spare where you needed to split it into 2 1 doses? The only one that would come to mind for me is maybe you need to share a potion with a friend and you've only got a 2-dose left. But in that case, it's probably not going to have a vial, and it would be just as easy to use it and then trade to them, or trade to them and then trade it back. I don't know. If you can tell me why you want that, then go right ahead. 4 1-dose pots. But why would you want a 1-dose pot? To sort out bank. I don't know. Just combine your pots. I'm confused. In worst case scenario, you'll have temporarily a 2-dose in your bank for a little bit until you can sort it out. I don't know. I think organising banks is not a good reason to throw away some dev time there. I want to, because stamina potions, 1-dose potions are so much easier for rune crafting. Why is that? Out of curiosity, is it because you then have an empty slot in your inventory? I'm not sure how that would work. Oh, I just noticed that there's no name Nate asking me these questions on Twitter. How's it going, Nate? You need to make videos again. So, as I was mentioning Corp a little bit ago, if you guys aren't aware, tomorrow on the Q&A live stream, that's not good. I am not quite sure what is going on. Leave the area and log out. But there's 5 primes here. I don't know what will happen if I log out. Only one way to find out. Oops. My bad. That's a joke, by the way. That's not actually my password, don't be silly. I've had people think that I've actually accidentally typed in my password and it'd be password 123 before. Am I going to have to manually chin these now? That is frustrating. Here's what we're going to do. Account setup. Wilderness kit. Oh, they just despawned. Perfect. I was about to get rid of my fancy gear. Whoop, nope. Wrong option. Force of habit. Spawn Dagannoth Prime. There we go. I have no idea what caused that. Perhaps it was because I was too close to the fence. I have no idea. But hey, that would... It reset the counter when I logged out. How many was I on? I think it was about 945. But 940 because I hadn't killed them yet. That's really, really frustrating. Okay, I'm gonna get it up to. No, yeah, people are saying 9:45, and if it was on 9:45, then those last 5, because I didn't kill them, I believe it pops up. Yeah, it pops up when I spawn them. So I need to get to 60, and then I will be at 1,000. That's a joke. You drink the 1 dose when you bank. Why wouldn't you just drink a 2 dose and bank the 2 dose? You confuse me, Nate. Possibility of a new quest or even Grandmaster. I don't think that a new quest is top of the list right now. If you remember a while back, there was the player priority survey, and quests were pretty far down the bottom of that list. So, Dragonstone again. Bank menu, open bank. So yeah, I don't think that quests are necessarily a distinct possibility for the near future, but I'm certain that there are things that could be done for quests that would be absolutely brilliant in Old School. If you can come up, if you can come up with an absolutely fantastic idea that is worth like dedicating the time to, and would do wonders for Old School, then sure, a quest could come out. But just in general, I don't think there's any quests planned. Air Battle Staff. Disappointing. I thought it was a mud one. Okay, I am just about... I'm on... Forgive me if I'm like 5 over, 5 under, or thereabouts. I'm about to hit 1,000, although I did misclick and mess up. Well, it wasn't really a misclick, it was an odd kind of glitch that I have no idea what caused it. That meant I couldn't kill 5 of the primes, and then I had to log out and it reset. Let's see. Corp, tomorrow's Q&A. Thank you for putting me back on track, Efficient RS. Corp is going to be shown off a little bit on tomorrow's livestream Q&A, or Q&A livestream. You guys should definitely check it out. Corp is something that I would love to see in Old School myself. Just as a player, I would have killed for Corp. Just like people would have killed for God Wars back last year, I would kill for Corp, and a lot of other players would as well. The one thing that we're wondering right now is what the loot from it is going to be. It's not going to be Spirit Shields as they were, that's for sure. Divine and Elysian are out of the question in terms of the effects that they had. Something that has the same name and looks like them might come into the game, but it would not have the same effects. That is for sure. That's not going to happen. So if you guys have any ideas for loot that we could do on Corp, or give to Corp, then make sure you send them our way, because Corp is it's on the horizon. Right now it's planned for RuneFest, so October 11th. But yeah, this is the loot from Lord from... No, I'm not a friend. This is loot from 1,000, roughly, Dagannoth primes. I'll be honest, I'm somewhat disappointed with this. I'm absolutely... My mind is blown at the number of mud battle staffs I've had. However, there's a lot of loots in here. I'm looking at you, air runes. That just kind of... that they would make me sad to get them from Rex, more than anything. I'm going to try and arrange this a little bit so that when a screenshot gets posted later on, whenever that ends up happening, it's looking a bit nicer. Sears rings, where can you go? You know what I'll do? I'll be smart and not waste time and do this. So if you guys better enjoy me organizing a bank. I know this is what you guys flood to these streams for, right? There we go. And I'll put them in there as well. They're staffs. Hatchet, where are you going to go? Next to a weapon, close enough. Rune stuff can go there. I got 2 left halves. What? I don't know what the rarity of left halves is, but I killed 1,000 crows last week and didn't get a left half, or a dragon spear or anything of the like. and I've had one left half in 10 years of playing RuneScape. So why is my prayer draining? I left Eagle Eye on. So yeah, I have no idea what went on with the left halves. That's pretty mad. I can't be bothered to organise it anymore. I'm sorry, people. It doesn't really seem worth organising this tiny amount of loot. That will do. So yeah, 8 Sears rings, 8 loot paths. Let's put the big loots up here, actually. Big loots being, let's call it that. Skeletal bottoms, there we go. 370 sharks, that's actually quite a lot. That's kind of surprising. The runes, nah, but yeah, overall, mud staffs, wow. The rest of it, meh. Got better luck than Boaty during this stream, which is nice. I did get some rings. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this stream, I suppose. It's a little shorter than I had intended. To be honest, I would like it to have been a little over an hour rather than 50 minutes. But hey, what are you going to do? I suppose I could spend a few minutes answering questions, and as long as I've got a screenshot of this bank, then I'm happy to kill a few more in the meantime. Let's see. Peel. I see that the chat just received the boaty comment. He did actually get a Berserker ring earlier today, if you guys didn't see that. Although I'm sure, let's be real, this is Twitch and you guys are watching RuneScape streams, you've probably seen that. Everyone watches Boaty, and rightfully so. He's an unbelievably good streamer. So yeah, any questions, throw them at me. Can you poll escape to close bank? I actually quite like that idea. I'm not sure how possible it would be. Pro life tip, if you guys weren't aware of this, it took me a long time after this was released to find this out. If you press escape on normal hotkeys, if you're not using a client like Orion that changes them, press escape, it is your inventory hotkey. So yeah, if you weren't aware of that, that will help you out, I suppose. It's something that I absolutely loved when I heard it. Completely old knowledge by this point, but hey. Blood/soul altars outside requirements other than runecrafting level. I suppose if you can come up with a reasonable way for them to come into the game, because I feel like just throwing them in the game would be somewhat lackluster. Outside requirements such as maybe a quest requirement, if you like, you are the same person, Jake Stumpy, who asked about a new quest. So perhaps if you could come up with a reasonable idea for a quest with the reward of bloods and souls, then let us know. Do Rex, please. I can't actually. It's the potato gets set up with one boss monster, and I got to kill that boss monster. Let's see how much range experience. I gained 2 million range experience last time I did this. Gained about another 2 million this time around. It's hardly surprising considering I'm one-shotting 5 primes at a time, but hey. Fix strung rabbit foot. I'm not aware what's broken with it. I believe if it is still broken, I may have heard a while back that it just didn't change your odds of getting anything. But I don't know if that's been patched or not. I'm sure it's something that could be looked into if it hadn't been, so yeah. Add Vesta Longsword and Chaotic stuff, please. I would absolutely love to, but it's not going to pass the poll, realistically. Chaotics really frustrated people. I'm just going to wipe my inventory, that way I don't need to play about with the bank. Let's see, how do I do that? There we go. Don't need to mess with the loot I've already got. I think that chaotics and whatnot, not chaotics, not so much. I think that untradeable items that are that powerful, in my opinion at least, you have to be able to get them in a very enjoyable way, or else it becomes an absolute off-put. But Vesta and stuff like that, I think is a reason. I think it sustains its value. I think it was too powerful for old school, but I think that degradable items are a really good way of maintaining the value of the loots that you get from monsters and whatnot. Let's say Tentacle Whip is a great example of how I'd implement something that's degradable, because it makes use of something that is already in the game, so it doesn't kill the price of that item, and it doesn't constantly deplete in value because there's no one leaving the game. So I think if you could figure out some way to bring, PvP armors, Vestra and whatnot is not going to happen because it didn't pass the poll. But if you can come up with a reasonable idea of how to implement something similar that isn't overpowered and it doesn't mess with the economy or the combat system too much, then I think it's possible. It has to pass the poll still, keep in mind. That's the real difficulty with any mention of anything that is particularly game changing or best in slot bonus and whatnot. Let's give a bit of a shout out to these people that have shown up. Sergeant Nate is still here. You know what? I'll just hop over the wall at this point. There's a bunch of people here actually. The PVM bro. I'm going to say as many people's names as I can see, but not necessarily catch everyone. Wingman Rex, who is a PMod I noticed. AG94, Swagger Boy 2, Cookie King 5, Brendan. That's actually a decent name. Congrats on grabbing a decent one. I have no idea how to say that. I'm not French. Nick Snake, James2709, Never Draco, Adon, Phoenix. Phoenix has been there ages as well. Bunch of people. You guys can see their names. Dragon Defender. If you can come up with a reasonable way to implement the Dragon Defender, then sure, why not? But is there much point in just adding... Why can I not move? Is there much point in adding something like the Dragon Defender? It just gives an extra bit of strength bonus. Is there much point in just throwing it in the game if there's nothing else to it? It's just slightly improving what you can hit. You got to have some other content with it to really give it value and make it worth adding to the game. Bring back Soul Wars. I don't think that Soul Wars is necessarily going to happen because I believe that Modash and Modreach have said in the past that in order to develop Soul Wars, it would take a lot to kind of replicate what it used to be, and even then it wouldn't end up being the same minigame. It would be something similar, but at the end of the day it wouldn't be able to work in the exact same way, and it wouldn't feel like the same minigame, although it would feel similar. I'm sure something could be done if the community was absolutely begging for it. I'm talking a large majority, but I don't think that that's happening, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. Runecrafting Guild plus minigame. I don't honestly remember the Runecrafting Guild too much, so I don't know what to say in regards to that, and it being in Old School, but if it is balanced and brings something entertaining and valuable to the game, then sure, why not? Propose something on the forums, and if it gets enough support, maybe it will happen. Add Soul Wars and Dragon Claws. I would love to see claws. Okay, here's what we're going to do. In the chat, just before I go, because I have been streaming for just about an hour now, and I've actually been done with primes for a little bit. If you would like to see Dragon Claws implemented into the game with special attack cost increased to 55%, say 1. And if you don't want to see the Dragon Claws implemented into the game with 55% special cost, type 2. So essentially why I say that is I don't think, to be honest, that Dragon Claws would stand a chance at passing the poll. However, I do think that if you get rid of the rushing side of things, where people can just spec you twice and hit an insane amount of damage, then people would be more inclined to have Dragon Claws in the game. If they, like I said before, if they don't come along with something, it's not really much point in just throwing some extra damage into the game. So there would have to be more to it than just releasing claws. And I don't think it would pass the poll for a second, but there's been a fair few people asking for claws. Claws as they were, not going to happen, let's be real. They were overpowered, especially in terms of old school stuff. But yeah, I'm actually going to call it a day there because I mean I've done my prime kills. Let's see, one last look at the bank. Open bank. That is the total loot. If you guys want to catch a screenshot and post it on Reddit before me, then feel free. Saves me a job. Gets you some karma. Hey, win-win. But yeah, that is just about it for this stream, I suppose. If you guys haven't heard yet, which would be a miracle of some sort, Corp will be shown off tomorrow on the Q&A live stream. And of course, there will be the questions being answered as usual. That'll be 5 p.m. BST on this Twitch channel that you're watching right now. Free to play expansion. If you guys haven't seen that, check it out. That's going to be released tomorrow. The dev blog is linked to on the Old School homepage. There's a news post about it. Go check it out. Go give it a read. Make sure you tell your friends that have not had membership in over 90 days that it exists, because that will help a lot and get a bunch of people playing, I'm sure. And yeah, I'm trying to think of things to plug. My Twitter @JagXRonan. But yeah, I'm kind of out of ideas at this point, so I'm going to call it a day there. If you guys have any ideas for future community streams, make sure you tweet them to me. There's only so many bosses in the game, and I would like to mix it up a bit. Maybe not just do the 1,000 kills every week thing. Maybe something that involves you guys a little more. If you have any really nice ideas, post them on the forums. But maybe don't post them on the forums. Tweet them to me. It's probably the best way of doing it. I don't want to have stuff popping up on the forums that isn't necessarily going to be relevant to everyone. But hey, it's not a bad place to post it. But yeah, I need to stop rambling and start ending the stream. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry about the mishaps with the music. If they were particularly disruptive, it's very difficult to tell. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. There.